Okay, y'all, here we are. We are working in our last bin in tower number 2. There's 9 bins per tower that I have to get through, and so what I'm trying very hard to do is do 1 tower per day for 5 days and take the weekend off. Now it's kind of hard for me to do sometimes these cold days not to get in and get it done, but here's a newly probably teenage worm right there. That would have been coming from some of my own castings that were hatched out in my own, what do you call this, bin. I don't know, it kind of looks like a squash seed there. Give them something to eat. They have ate all their food, so that's good. Let's see how we rated this bin the last time we went through it. So we have low population in here. Very little. That's what the white bead is for. Remember, very little castings. This is fresh bedding, so we have a light tan bead. The cocoons, super low. We have a light pink color. They were fed last time, and we're going to feed them this time, so we can leave that green bead. The moisture here, it says it's not very moist, medium moisture. And what I'm looking at now, I'm going to say we need to change that bead. It's going to be a much more wet bedding. And there's nothing that's going to heat up, so we should be good with that bead. All right, so we're going to put the bead off to the side so that it's a reminder that we need to change that blue bead for sure. Now, let's go ahead and dig in and turn this to see what we think of the bottom of this bedding. So, you know, just right here, you guys, all you can see, right? How glossy that is. I don't like it. So all of these bins have been very glossy. And maybe, I don't know if they're just breaking down more bedding, how that's working out. So what we're going to do, I got to get my turn tub where I'm going to turn these guys over to. And we will add fresh bedding to the bottom, which is just going to be these dry leaves. I've already got plenty of shavings in there, so we are not going to add the shavings. But we can add these leaves because, one, it'll be a food source. And then halfway along the way, I'm going to go ahead and add the cocoa core and the cardboard shavings. This is a never-ending job, maintaining these. And you know, unless you can get a recipe from somebody, because you're always going to be buying the exact same bedding, and you know how much moisture is going to be created through the breakdown of that bedding and catabolism. I mean, I suppose if you were a big operation and you were just selling worms or whatever, you would do that. You would just buy all your ingredients for your recipe bedding, and you'd have that all scientifically figured out. You would know how much to add each time to each bin because you would know how many worms and how many cocoons. And I am not going to be selling worms, so I mean, I might sell some worms locally. It's just that I do not want a business besides running this regenerative farm that I'm running now, which has a lot more that needs to be done than just turning worm bins all day long. So I'm going to try to figure out a method. Right now I'm just learning the worms. And from then I can start to deviate and make this system work for me and my lifestyle for what I'm doing. Everybody is different, and that's why you all have to figure out your own methods. That's kind of the joyous thing. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. It's the same with the bees, the honeybees. When people ask me, you know, how I raise them, it's different for everybody. Your environment is different than mine, and that's why you can't do everything the same as me. And you might choose methods that have different, okay, so if you perform a reaction, there may be another reaction that has to happen that's different than mine. There's several paths to doing this, and each path that everybody takes is a little different. And that all kind of depends on what your materials are that you have available to you in your environment. And that means, you know, what kind of companies are there that can provide you with, you know, waste products or byproducts from them. I'm not going to say they're waste products because they're not waste if you're using them. So, this is what works for me for now in the learning process. Once you think you've got it all down, and you can start to tinker around a little more, maybe. Like I can just raise these in bulk, kind of like I do my mealworms. I found really good way to just raise them during the summer, and just give them a little bit of feed. That's it. I mean, they're very low maintenance, and I do get quite a bit of frass each summer from them, and so, you know, that works for me. Okay, so I've added some cardboard to dry up a little and some of this cocoa coir. I think I've got all this stirred up good enough that we can add them in here. And then we will add some leaves and feed them. And that's it for today. That is one whole tower that we have gone through. Today is video day. So I will go upload all my videos that I have for you all to spend your dreary days watching and learning, hopefully. What all there is that can be done in the world out here to help improve our food supply with more nutrient-dense foods. At least that's what I want for myself and my loved ones, to keep them healthy. Ta-da! Okay, so tomorrow we will go through tower number 3, and this will just continue on and on and on until I come up with a different plan. And that's okay, because guess what? The winter months are my worst months of needing to find motivational things to do that makes me feel productive. So let's factor in that psychiatric bill. Oh, keeping Nathan going crazy. Because I get to move. That's one nice thing. This is a little bit of a workout every day. Lifting these bins is tough. You know, I turn with my back to put these up on their shelf. I'm trying to think of all the positive things that I can to keep me going and doing this. All right, girls. That's our base layer. About all we have left here is apples, so I'm going to probably run out the door and grab some more, a bucket of some more scraps, because these I'm just about out of. Those are all these pieces here. I could probably just take and put them in a bulk tank. Okay, I'm sorry. I ran out of scraps on this bucket. This is my last bucket. That's kind of nice to know, though. Just 2.5 pumpkins, maybe, is what I had there. And this is going to be really cold, but it's grapes. They're frozen grapes now. Okay, I don't foresee them coming up to get anything to eat here very soon. Anyway, so that's got cocoa coir. What I do is I add the cocoa coir to the bottom of the juice. Then it soaks up the juice, and then I can use that juice to feed back to the worms, because now this cocoa core is kind of basically just loaded with vitamins and minerals. And they'll go through it and eat it and sift it and all that wonderful stuff. So we can clean that bucket out. Good to go. And put some leaves again on the top of this. Keep it aerobic. I'm not gonna. There we go. Alright, that is bin number 9 from Tower 2. Tower 2 goes into the yesterday, tomorrow. 1-9 turned and fed. Let's look at our beads too. We've got to figure that out. I remember now what I said we were gonna change. I think all we did was discuss what we did. Our moisture was wet, but I think with adding that, I think we're gonna be okay. So I'll leave that moisture numbers low. I fed them, cocoons low. I don't think we need to re-rate this bin. I think it's pretty good the way that it is, but we will stick it back. That's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for spending your day here in the day in the life of a worm farmer. Blessings to you all.